And welcome back to Let's Have a Chat. Today's video is about the latest James Bond film, rumours, No Time to Die, and the possible shopping of it around to various streaming services with a price tag of $600 million. Now, this has been denied to be occurring by the main holders of the show, but we both know that they would if they thought they'd get enough money. Now, these articles have come from Variety on the 24th and Deadline also on the 24th, talking about the same thing, the same rumours, talking about how they've sent it out to Netflix, Apple and Amazon with a proposed 1-year license for a price tag of $600 million. Now, MGM are saying they're holding on to it to be, sent out as their major blockbuster with $1 billion expected revenue. Now, based on our trailers that we've seen, we can see that the overall reaction by the consumer has not been very positive. They see it as a watered down Bond film, as it's being promoted as not really a James Bond film but another 000 agent film. So, 00 whatever. So a lot of people are not that enthused with the franchise at the moment, and they're starting to get sick and tired of the directors and film writers, script writers, ideology being pushed in our entertainment. I'm certainly one of them. Yes, I am an old fogey, and I expect my entertainment to do that, entertain me, not to lecture me. So when we see these follow-up articles coming out in Forbes and Boss Hunting, which I'd never heard of before, it was a new area of reading for me, but they're reporting that some of these streaming services did make a counter offer, basically saying the 1-year licensing deal that they would be willing to pay $250 to $300 million for. So basically half the asking price that was originally floated around. Now, this is obviously not what MGM wants to hear, but streaming services have learnt from some fairly major blunders they've had in recent times. I mean, the major fallout from Netflix over a certain movie that they're still in a lot of trouble over. Now, according to the statistics, they're losing around 800% decrease in their normal subscription renewal. So they're starting to hemorrhage based on their choices and may not have the readies to do a major investment such as this again. I'd certainly be questioning their choices if I was a shareholder. Now, Amazon and Apple have had some, dealings with picking up some of the other new films coming around, and we saw the absolute disaster of Mulan with Disney Plus. So these streaming services are not the big cash cow that these movie houses want them to be, because they expect people to pay more for a movie as a premium release than what that would cost for them to go see it in the cinema. I mean, the $35 surcharge for Mulan is ridiculous. It doesn't cost you that much to go see it in the cinema. Why would you pay that for a streaming service? It just doesn't make sense. They're assuming everybody's got 2 or 3 people sitting around watching it. Now, that's not the average case. I mean, if you look at, you'd probably look at the demographics of people that subscribe to these things, and they're not going to be all family orientated with multiple people sitting down to watch it. And here in Australia, in Melbourne, we're not allowed to have visitors. So getting value for $35 on top of your normal subscription fees really doesn't make any sense, especially when, hey, we just wait another, couple of weeks, a couple of months, it all rolls together at the moment. So in December, Mulan becomes another movie as part of the normal subscription. So it doesn't make sense from a family perspective that we need to pay a premium price for something we're going to get as a normal subscription in a couple of months, when a lot of people are hurting in the current climate. I mean, how many people have lost their jobs because of the current pandemic? Lots of people. So people are hanging on to their subscriptions for these streaming services as a way of getting out of their house. They're just allowing themselves to be consumed into the fantasy world of entertainment, whether it be through streaming services with movies and TV shows or in gaming. They're using these forms of entertainment to escape their current circumstances and just trying to maintain some mental health. And these movie houses and streaming services are just so out of touch with their client base. They've all forgotten that we are the consumer and we expect a quality product to entertain us so we can sit down and forget about the world and the problems. This has always been a form of escapism and relaxation for us as consumers. Why would we want to go to a non-documentary film and get lectured about what's going on in the real world according to 1 or 2 people's point of view? These are supposed to be fun and, entertaining, not reality. We're supposed to be able to escape and enjoy our movies and not be ripped off blind in the process. The days of these $1 billion blockbusters I believe, are gone. Everybody's gotten out of the habit of going in the cinemas. Here in Melbourne, we've been in lockdown for 6 bloody months. Okay? A habit is broken in 6 weeks. We're well past that deadline. So all the people that were in the habit of going to a cinema and watching a movie, gone, broken. You need to produce something that we want to consume for us to be motivated to spend our good coin, because it's going to take us years in Melbourne and other parts of the world to recover financially from the damages caused by poor decisions by our governments to crush our economies in their scare tactics, in their power-hungry minds. I won't say what I was going to say there, but let's get back to it. MGM, you're holding out in the belief in your own fantasy world that the latest woke Bond film is going to earn you $1 billion. It's not going to happen. I'd be surprised if you get the 600 million that has been touted around as your 1-year license that you're asking for as a rumour. I'd be mightily surprised if you get that, because people are not going to be rushing back to the cinemas, and you're not going to see the income that you used to enjoy, because people will want quality and entertainment, not the same garbage trash that you've been producing recently. I haven't gone to the cinema for quite a while because you haven't been producing anything of quality that I want to buy. And I'm not alone. This goes with even our main franchise films. Not just the Bond film, but others as well. When you wake up to yourselves and start making quality films with the core being entertainment, people will come back to the cinema. If you want to continue making political statements in your films, you will not get the audiences that you expect, because the rest of us don't live in fantasy land like you do. Yes, your mates on Twitter are all going to say how fantastic a job you're doing, but guess what? That's not real life. They're like-minded people talking to the same like-minded people. And it's only about 20% of all the subscribers in Twitter that are like making 80% of the content on Twitter. So it's not a true representation of the worldview. And as soon as you wake up to that fact, the sooner you might actually start making money again. That's me. I've ranted enough. If you survived this long, I thank you for joining me. I will continue to voice my opinion on topics that I feel passionate about. This is the way I'm starting to process and vent for my health. I thank you for joining me in my journey, and I hope you find some slight enjoyment in what I have to say. Until next time, bye from me.